Hello and welcome to another Holly Talk. A Holly Talk is like a TED Talk, but just without the fancy budget. My name is Holly and I am the founder of SEP Foundations and Circus Strong CIC, both of which are social ventures, and Circus Strong is a not-for-profit. So today I'm going to talk to you about trying to cope when life just keeps trying to get you down. There's no doubt at the minute that with the energy crisis, the cost of living crisis, life is a bit tough. You know, people are struggling to pay their mortgages because everybody's mortgage has gone up. People have to make sacrifices to afford to have heating. So it's definitely tough times. Definitely a time when some people are going to be struggling mentally. So I just really wanted to do this little video to kind of give you some of the tips that I've used to cope, because I personally suffer with depression. I still get it. I have high anxiety, and you know, I have attempted suicide in the past. So I kind of just wanted to give you some of my tips on how to kind of get through those tough times, because there are going to be tough times always, but we need to be able to cope with those tough times in order to, you know, get to the good times, really, which I know sounds very cliche, but it is true. So my number one tip, just look at the big picture. And I don't mean go to an art gallery and look at the picture. Let's look at where we are. So we are in the UK. Do we have people trying to drop bombs on us? No. Every time we go to a shop, is somebody trying to shoot at us? Nope. Do we have torrential weather like typhoons and stuff? Not really. Do we have access to education? Yeah. Do we have a health service that's free? Yes. Now, what I want you to do is now look at somewhere like, okay, let's take Ukraine. I know it's a bit of an easy one, but right now there's people who have lost their homes, have had to leave the country. You know, there's bombs being dropped left, right and centre. People are dying. You know, some people are having to walk past dead bodies in the street. It's pretty grim. So now ask yourself, I'm having a bad day. You know, things aren't going my way. The Hermes guy has messed up my delivery. I'm not quite sure I can make a payment on one of my bills. Yes, it's not great, but in comparison, is it really that bad? You know, at least you've got your life, and you can overcome both of those things quite easy without having to go through anything particularly and in comparison to something like they're going over in Ukraine. Okay, so always try and just look at that big picture and just sort of look at what you have and just try and, you know, find that positive. Okay, so always be looking at that big picture. Okay. Number two, this is number two. Now this is the hardest one. For me personally, this was really hard to do, but you know, ask for help. Asking for help doesn't make you weak. It doesn't mean that, you know, you're a failure or anything. It's actually a positive thing, because it takes strength and courage to ask for help. So do not be afraid to just put your hand out. Now, asking for help doesn't have to be going to your GP and spilling your guts out, or psychologists or psychiatrics, or, you know, any of that stuff. It can literally just be just saying to a close friend, just say, no, I just need a bit of a chat. You got 5 minutes? And usually when you have these chats, you will feel a lot better. Okay, so, you know, if you are having a bad day, then, you know, just try and talk to someone. Just like literally just get on the phone or get on social media for like 5 minutes and just sort of try and have a laugh about something. It really does help. Like, just don't be afraid to ask for that bit of help. Okay? Don't be afraid. It's absolutely fine to ask for help. Okay? So my sort of third tip is probably the most practical, and it does really help. So it's have a go-to hobby. Now, a go-to hobby needs to be something that you can do straight away. So for example, scuba diving is a hobby, but if you're having a bad day, can you throw all your gear on and get underwater straight away? Probably not. So what I mean by go to your hobby is something that brings you joy, that you really, it instantly just makes you feel better, but you can access straight away. So for me, I like rock music, so my go-to hobby is I'll just stick my earphones in and I'll listen to some rock. And that just helps me sort of relax, just forget about what's happened, and just sort of reset. So, it could be, if you work from home, it could be something like knitting. Yes, some people do still knit, even in the 21st century. Or it could be, model making. Just the main thing is, it doesn't really matter what it is, as long as it's something that you can access straight away. And the other thing about it is it needs to be something without a financial barrier. So, it's, because if you've got a financial barrier, then it can't really be a go-to hobby because you can't go to it when you need to. So try and aim for something that's sort of free, that you can just do straight away without any sort of need for any fancy equipment, literally. So those are kind of my 3 biggest tips that helped me through some of the darker times. And I just hope that, if you are struggling and you do need help, just ask for it, okay? Please don't sit there in silence, it's only going to make it worse. But as always, I hope you have found this useful. I hope you enjoyed it. So please feel free to comment and share. Pass it on to anybody who may be struggling mentally and just needs a bit of a boost. But yeah, as always, I'm Polly. Thank you for listening.